Good evening, students. Now, from this lecture onwards, we are going to start the third chapter, which is current electricity. In the last two chapters, we discussed about electric charge, electric field, electric potential, and finally about capacitors. Now, in those two chapters, in most of the cases, the charge under consideration was at rest. That means it is a static charge, a charge which is not moving, which is at rest. In most of the discussions in those two chapters, we considered that charges are static, even though some cases it is not static. In most of the cases, we consider that charges are static. Now, when a charge starts moving, then the movement of charges creates a lot of physics, and one of the basic phenomenon arising because of the movement of charges is nothing but electric current. Okay, so first I am going to discuss about electric current. What is electric current? Who is contributing electric current, and how we are getting electric current? In this lecture, I am going to give an introduction about electric current and its unit, dimension, and other relevant areas. Okay, so first topic is electric current. Now, in this chapter, our entire focus will be on electric current. First, we will discuss what is electric current, then what are the effects of electric current, and we will also explain some devices which are working based on some principles which we will discuss before. So let us first check what is meant by electric current. For that, consider a conductor. Conductor means a material which will easily pass electric current, where a large number of free electrons are available. Such a material is called a conductor. Okay, so consider a conductor. It can be a normal wire, and normal metallic wire is a good conductor. So consider a wire. Okay, we are considering a wire, but you know, in normal case, even though there will be electrons, if you consider this wire, there will be electrons, because wire is made up of atoms, and atoms consist of protons, neutrons, and electrons. You already know. So there will be electrons in all the atoms inside the wire. So there will be electrons, and electrons are not staying at rest, they are moving, but it is in random motion. Okay, if one electron is moving upward, other will be moving downward, another will be moving left, another will be moving right. That means it is a random motion. A random motion will not contribute to current. Current means the charge carriers must move in a particular direction. Okay, so how can you make such a situation? Let us do one thing. Let us connect this wire to a battery. You know, battery is denoted by this symbol. Okay, a long line and a small line. This symbol is nothing but the symbol for a battery. Actually, it is a cell. If you combine cell, you will get battery. Okay, so if you combine two such cells, you will get a battery. Now let us imagine it is a cell. So you are connecting your cell to your wire using some other wires. Okay, all these wires will have electrons, just like your red wire. This green wire will also have free electrons, but they are in random motion, which will not contribute any current. But now you connected it to a battery. This long side line is nothing but positive side of the cell, and this small line is the negative side of the wire. And let us assume some voltage for the battery, V voltage. Okay, now what happens? Since you connected your wire to the cell, what actually happens is your wire, starting from here we can consider, because all the materials are nothing but wires. So this side of the wire will become positive and this side of the wire will become negative, because you connected both the sides with the battery. So now there is a direction. One side is positive, another side is negative. What is actually mean by positive? Positive means higher potential. This is the meaning of positive. You already know what is potential. So positive means higher potential. Potential, electric potential. Okay. Negative means lower potential. Now initially your entire wire is under same potential. Everywhere potential is same. But now you can see that one side is at higher potential, that is positive side, and one side is at a lower potential, that is negative side. So there is a potential difference, isn't it? There is a potential difference between the two sides. So who is actually making this potential difference? Initially there were no potential difference. All the sides of the wire is at same potential. Now when you connect it to a battery, a potential difference is induced. So who is actually making that potential difference? It is created by battery or cell. Here it is only a cell, but I am using battery because if you connect two such cells together, it will become a battery. So general term I am using that, a battery. So by connecting it to a battery, you are actually creating a potential difference between the ends of the wire. Since this side is positive, this side will also be positive, and this side will be negative, isn't it? So here you can see that initially wire is having same potential, but when you connect it to a battery, there is a potential difference between the ends of the wire. I am using the word wire not only for this red portion but for the entire portion. Okay, not only for this red conductor, I am considering all the length of the conductor, because green is also wire. Wire means it will be a conductor. Okay, so you can see that in between the ends of the conductor there is a positive side and there is a negative side. Positive side means higher potential side and negative side means lower potential side. Okay, now whenever there is a potential difference, that means a change in potential, then charges will move in such a potential field. Okay, you know, when there is higher pressure for water in one side, that means if you consider higher pressure for water here and lower pressure for water here, then water will move from higher pressure to lower pressure. That means from here to here, towards right. In the same way, charges will move. Which charge? If you consider a positive charge, this positive charge will move from higher potential to lower potential. So when you connect it to a battery, if the charges in the wire are positive charges, then they will move from higher potential to lower potential. And which are the positive charges in the wire? They are the protons in the nucleus, and you know they are bounded by strong nuclear force. Because of that strong nuclear force, protons are not able to move. So positive charges will not move from one end of the wire to other end of the wire, and they are not the charges which creates current, electric current. Okay, then who is actually moving? It is nothing but electrons. You know the atomic structure. so many atomic structures are there proposed by Rutherford, Bohr, etc., in which if you consider Bohr atom model, you can see that electrons are at the outermost shell. They are loosely bound to the nucleus. Okay, so if there is a sufficient amount of external energy, then electrons can move out of that shell and they can move inside the conductor. Okay, so what is the speciality of a conductor? There will be large number of free electrons. Free electrons means electrons which can easily move inside the conductor. Those electrons are called free electrons. In a conductor, there will be large amount of free electrons, and actually these electrons are moving. They are the charge carriers in a conductor. Example for conductor is metal. Okay, so what will be the direction of movement of electrons? It is opposite to a positive charge, because electrons are negatively charged particles, you know. Positive charges will move from higher potential to lower potential, but in our case actual movement is by electrons, and whenever electrons are moving, they will move from lower potential to higher potential. Okay, because electrons are negatively charged. A negatively charged electron, if you imagine a negatively charged electron here, it will always get attracted towards the positive side, isn't it? Because electrons are negatively charged and they will always get attracted towards the positive side. So if electron is there, it will move in this direction because this is the positive side. So electrons are moving in this direction. That means this negative side is lower potential and this positive side is higher potential. So in which direction electrons are moving? They are moving from lower potential to higher potential. That means in this direction. Okay, so actually current means flow of electrons, and in which direction electrons will move? They will move from negative side to positive side, isn't it? So that is the real direction of current. But in the initial days, that means years before, when physics was not developed that much, Benjamin Franklin defined that electric current is the flow of positive charges, because at that time physics was not developed that much, and he discussed that or defined that electric current is due to the movement of positive charges. And in which direction positive charges will move? Positive charges always moves from positive to negative, because if there is a positive charge here, then negative side will attract that positive charge. So positive charge will move in this direction. So Benjamin Franklin defined that electric current is due to the flow of positive charges, and hence the direction of current is from positive to negative. So conventional direction is defined by Benjamin Franklin, and later when physics developed, it is found that actually it is not the movement of positive charges which creates current, but it is due to the movement of electrons. And electrons will always move from lower potential to higher potential, that means from negative to positive. So the direction given by Benjamin Franklin for electric current is not the correct direction, but it is in the reverse direction. Benjamin Franklin defined that it is from positive to negative, but later it is found that the direction is from negative to positive. But before that itself, most of the theories related with electric current was proposed. And then even if we change the direction from positive to negative, positive side to negative side to negative side to positive side, all the other theories which were developed remains same. So this direction won't make any difference. Hence, still we are following the same convention followed by Benjamin Franklin, that electric current is nothing but the flow from positive to negative. But please remember that it is only conventional direction. Actual direction is from negative side to positive side, and actual movement is nothing but electrons. Okay, so this is how charges move, particularly electrons move from negative side to positive side. When charges are moving, it constitutes electric current. So let us define electric current. The flow of charges constitute electric current, and electric current is denoted by the letter capital I. So the flow of charges constitute electric current, and it is denoted by capital I. Okay, now let us define the same mathematically. For that, imagine that you are having a conductor something like a wire, and you are connecting it to a battery with a voltage V. When you connect it to a battery, there will be a positive and negative side, and the charges will move. Particularly, charges will move even though electrons are moving. Because of the conventional definition, we will assume that charges are moving from positive to negative. Okay, but please remember that electrons are moving and they will always move from negative to positive. But conventional discussions, we will use the direction from positive to negative. So in all my discussions, I will consider that charges are moving from positive to negative, even though real direction is opposite to that. So imagine that charges are moving like this. Now consider a area A. Let us imagine that in 10 seconds, if you connect it to a switch, there is a switch also. This is a symbol for switch. This is nothing but switch off condition. When you press it, it will become switch open condition. If you connect like this, this is now open condition, switch on. When you switch on, now charges will flow from one end to other end. Okay, if you switch on for 10 seconds, let us imagine that 100 charges moved. Okay, through your cross section A. You are having an area here. This is your area. In this area, in 10 seconds, you counted that there are 100 charges which are moving through that area. Then in 1 second, how many charges will move? 10 seconds, 100 charges means in 1 second it will be 10 charges. Okay, so 10 charges are moving in 1 second through that area, isn't it? So we will define that the amount of current is, because 10 charges are moving, we will define that it is 10A, where A is called ampere, which is the unit of current, SI unit of current. Okay, so mathematically, what is the definition for electric current? The number of charges flowing in unit time, because you can see in 10 seconds 100 charges are moving, then in 1 second 10 charges will move. So current in that wire is 10 ampere. That 10 is nothing but number of charges moving in 1 second. So mathematically you can define that electric current is defined as the amount of charges flowing through a cross section in unit time means 1 second. So this is the mathematical definition of electric current. Mathematically, electric current is defined as the amount of charges flowing through a cross section in unit time. If 20 charges are moving in 1 second through an area A, then current is 20 A or 20 ampere. Okay, so if you write it mathematically, what is this? This is nothing but time taken, and this is total charges T and Q. Here what you are doing, in 1 second you are dividing total Q with total T, and you are getting a number which is nothing but current. So how can you propose the mathematical equation? Mathematically, I is equal to Q by T. Where Q is the total charge and T is the total time, isn't it? So this is the mathematical equation for current. I is equal to Q by T. Now what is the unit of current? Symbol is capital I. Now what is the unit? SI unit of current is ampere. It is denoted by capital A. You know I is equal to Q by T. If Q is equal to 1 coulomb, Q is nothing but charge. So if it is 1 coulomb, and if T is equal to 1 second, then I is equal to 1 divided by 1, that is 1 ampere. So 1 ampere is defined as the amount of or you can define it as if 1 coulomb of charges flows through a cross section in 1 second, then current in that conductor is said to be 1 ampere. So this is the definition for 1 ampere. If 1 coulomb of charge flows through a conductor in 1 second, then the current in that conductor is said to be 1 ampere. Okay, so this is the definition for 1 ampere. Now dimension, I am leaving it as a work for you. You can find the dimension of current. This I am giving it as a work for you. Work it out by using the equation I is equal to Q by T. Okay, so here what happens is current will have a basic SI unit, that is, sorry, not unit, dimension, that is I. So without doing you can get it, it is I. Okay, because it is defined, clearly it is defined, and in 11th you studied dimension for current is I, which is same as the symbol for current is also I, dimension for current is also I, so its dimension is I. Okay, now you are having current I is equal to So dimension will be I. Okay. Now you are having equation I is equal to Q by T, and you know what is Q. In first chapter, Q is equal to plus or minus Ne. So I am using Ne. So you can write it as Ne by T. This is again another equation for electric current. Okay. Now types of current. What are the types of current? First one, direct current. Okay. Second one, varying current. That means this is nothing but AC, where intensity of current changes. And in direct current, current will only move in one particular direction. Okay. And steady current means current intensity will be same throughout. If it is like that, then it is called a steady current. Direct current means current moves only in one particular direction. Charges moves only in one particular direction, then such a current is called a direct current. And if the intensity of such a current is constant throughout, then it is said to be steady current. Okay, like the current in battery. Current which you are getting when you connect to a battery is steady current. Now varying current means the direction of current will change continuously, and which we will discuss in the coming chapters. AC current. Okay. Now direction of current. If you discuss direction, there will be two cases. One is conventional direction and another is original direction. What is the conventional direction? It is from positive to negative. What is the original direction? Negative side to positive side. And in all the discussions we will use this. But please remember that this is the actual case. Even though this won't make any difference, this is the actual case. That's why even though the direction is different, we are still using the conventional direction, because it won't make any difference. Okay, so that is about conventional direction and the original direction of current. Now one more thing related with the current, that is current density. So in my discussion I told you that when you connect it to a conductor, and if you consider an area A, in that area A, let us imagine that charges are flowing and there is a current in area A. Let us imagine I current is flowing. So in A area I current is flowing. Okay, A area means A centimeter or meter square. Let us say meter square, some meter square area. I current is flowing. Then in 1 meter square area, how much current will flow? In A meter square, I current. Then in 1 meter square, I by A current will flow, isn't it? So in 1 meter square there will be I by A current flow. This is nothing but the amount of current flowing in unit area, isn't it? This will give you amount of current flowing in unit area. and it is called current density. Denoted by J. Okay, so current density is equal to I by A. So what is the definition for current density? It is the amount of current flowing in unit area. Okay, in 100 meter square 1000 ampere flowing, then in 1 meter square 10 ampere will be flowing. So current density is 10 ampere. Total current divided by total area will give you current density. And what is the unit? Unit of current is ampere and the unit of area is meter square. So unit of current density is ampere per meter square. Please remember that this A is different from this A. This is area and this is ampere. Unit is ampere per meter square, isn't it? So these are the introductory terms which I want to discuss. Now in the next lecture I will discuss another term, that is EMF, electromotive force, and then we will move on to Ohm's law. Okay.